against unranked opponent, and we'll see if the upset can shake up the rankings in this one. Notre Dame looking for a strong kick to get this one underway. And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So NC State's offense will have the football first. And David, their quarterback hasn't always blown you away statistically, but he is a guy that the coaches trust.
Yeah, and he'll show you some flashes of why you should trust him, Reese. But here's the thing. This is not a guy that we're saying, go win me the football game. That's not where he's at right now in his career. Jesse, he's a guy that needs the others. They got to help him out. They got to play on schedule, not make those mistakes, and guys really play well around him.
Yeah, David, the one thing quarterbacks don't want to be referred to as is a game manager, but that's really more what this guy is. You're right. They have to be able to run the football. They can't turn it over. They got to play great defense. If they do that in this game, he's good enough to get this win.
They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
They'll go right back to him. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
That's caught. It's Hoffman. He gets it to the 38-yard line, and they'll pick up a fresh set of downs.
And as a quarterback, when you're facing man coverage, you've got to find your best one-on-one matchup. That receiver did a tremendous job. Quickness, changing direction, out of his break, able to create separation. There was no question the quarterback was going to target that receiver on that play.
Grab behind the line. It smothers. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. Off the play fake. He's going to run it.
Well, you're making a positive out of a negative. And that time, quarterback, nice job, buying time. He's trying to throw the football downfield. Nothing there, so instead of throwing it away and getting the incomplete, just get what you can get and make this next down more manageable.
The volley cheers going on high, and here comes the Thunder being shaken down on 3rd down. Looking to pass, it's Bailey. Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39.
If I'm a play caller right here, I'm a little bit frustrated. And I say that because I can't take a sack here. A sack might take 3 off the board for me. I got to understand the situation. I got to get the ball out, try to make a play, but most importantly, don't make a negative play.
And they'll pat the kicker on the tail and tell him to go give it a shot. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. Splits the uprights from 56, and he's got 3 on the board.
I know one thing this head coach does every week is he challenges his guys to start fast. And it's so important today, playing on the road in this kind of environment. You saw a nice drive. They didn't get the touchdown they would have loved, but still, kicking that field goal and taking this early lead, that's a statement for the visiting team.
Looks like he's going to try to return it. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Irish offense comes out. First chance we've had to see them today. It's not often we focus on a matchup quite like this, but David, we have a couple of premier tight ends in this game.
And we've seen it recently, right? Ty Warren last year, Brock Bowers the year before. Like, you can build an offense around an elite tight end, And both of these schools do it. The speed, the playmaking ability, the versatility. Palmer, I bet you wish you had a guy like this you could throw to.
You're right, David. I played with a lot of NFL guys at tight end, but none of them were as dynamic as these two right here. And you're going to see them get the ball in a variety of ways. We're seeing offense change in college football, and one of the biggest reasons is the versatility now at the tight end position, and these are two of the best in the entire country.
That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Dropping back, it's Carr. Fires to the tight end. He'll be brought down at about the 18-yard line. Not enough to move the sticks.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on third down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You've set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
They punted away on 4th down. Makes the catch and now looking for just a little bit of daylight. Good field position to start this drive at their own 47. They run the reverse. Big time play by the defense. He'll lose 4.
Everybody loves those trick plays, man, those misdirections. But the problem is when you stay home and you play the play really disciplined and sound like this defense does, you knock it dead. And a lot of times for a loss and put the offense in a bind.
Tough way to start this drive. Now they'll try to fix it on 2nd and 15. The give on the inside. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
We've reached the end of the quarter, and NC State has the edge. And we've come to the end of one, and let's take a quick moment to catch up on the stats. Lots of time left, and we're ready to get back to it and open the second period. So they go back to work after the break, and it is 3rd down. Dropping back, it's Bailey. Fires it. Finds a man on the left. That'll be enough for the first down as they stop him at the 43-yard line.
Defenses throughout the week study every 3rd down situation. You got to be ready for what they do, how they do it, and then be able to adjust. Great job by the offense so far having success.
NC State at the line with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48.
Man, it didn't take long for the defense to get home on that play. You see them playing man coverage in the back end, slowing down the routes from the receivers and the rest of the offense. That forced the quarterback to have to hold on to it for just a split second longer, and they were able to get the sack.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. Here comes the heat. Pulls it in, it's Smothers. Tackled right at the 43-yard line, and this D didn't let him sniff that 1st down marker.
Yeah, and that's one of those where you just look at the coverage. You look at down the field, taking away all the options, making sure you don't throw that ball downfield to get the 1st down. The only option, check it to the running back. Now I close that space. Nice job tackling.
Punt is on its way. Punt goes out of bounds, and a really nice job as they stick them deep in their own end. They'll mark it around the 10. From the gun, give on the inside. Really nice gain, gets it out across the 20. It'll be a first down at the 22.
And listen, the offensive line has to do their job, but a really good job by the running back, understanding where his hole is. Go hit it, get the first down, don't mess around. Nice job following his hole, getting positive yards.
On first down from their own 22. To the air, it's Carr. Unloads to the right. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Love the physicality of this secondary on defense. That defender got to the football, was able to separate the receiver from the ball, and did it legally. Beautiful job.
They're dealing with a second and long. Quarterback on the keeper. And they'll wrestle him to the ground after a short gain.
Well, the QB decided to keep it on that one. And listen, if you had his athleticism, you'd want to keep it too. Almost every time they run these types of option plays. But he's just going to have to do a good job of understanding when to hand it off, when to pitch it, and try to keep this defense on their heels and read his keys. He's got a lot of talent. Just got to make sure he's making the right decisions moving forward.
They stopped him after a short game. Probably just wanted to mitigate the losses with fourth down coming. The Irish send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He'll be content with the field position, making the fair catch right around the 30-yard line. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Fires to the wideout. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
This offense has been sluggish to say the least, but finally they're on the move on 1st and 10. We've reached the 2-minute timeout. We've got a tight one, and they'll try to build on the lead before going to the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They've moved it to the 41. Dropping back, it's Bailey. Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49.
Man, this offense, they gotta find something. They gotta get in a rhythm somehow. So far, no success, not protecting the quarterback. Really, the only good thing I can say so far is they haven't turned the football over.
This pass rush has just been relentless, and you can bet your bottom dollar they're about to bring the heat again. The short hands, it Smothers. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football. And a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting the football, letting them get some positive yards.
You want to talk about shaking down thunder from the sky. That's what they're doing here on 3rd down. Makes the grab. It's Anderson. They stop him short of the sticks, and it'll be 4th down.
And how about that throw? Under pressure, somebody right in his face, getting struck. And as soon as he's getting struck, he's able to throw the football and still get a completion. That'll show that offensive line how serious he is about being tough and hanging in the pocket.
Here comes the field goal unit. This whole play is going to see if this kicker can operate in the sea of noise. Field goal is good. The lead now 6 here in the second.
And I like the way this defense just finished. And I know they're trailing, but they didn't give up the touchdown. Got a little bit of momentum. Not much time left in this first half, but you got halftime to make some adjustments, come out with some energy, but a nice stop here.
So they put the field goal on the board and about to kick it away, and hoping that'll be the final points of this first half. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. They'll give it to the back. Now after that run, they're in pretty good shape at the 30-yard line. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. To the air, it's Carr. Lets it fly. Complete to the left. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Here they come, 1st and 10 from the 48. To the air on 1st down. Got a man. It's Pauly. Really nice pickup on that one as they get it to the 36. It'll be 1st down. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break.
Timeout, Notre Dame.
And as the first half draws near to a close, here comes the field goal unit. He splits the uprights and puts 3 on the board. The lead is down to a field goal. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
And it should come as no surprise that we have ourselves a fun matchup in South Bend. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big fat W. With that said, let's send it back to the fellas there in the shadows of Touchdown Jesus.
North Carolina State will kick it off to open the third quarter. Looks as if the returner will try and field this one. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Here come the Irish back on offense. Off the play fake on 1st down. And points have been hard to come by in this one. They'll try to put together a drive. Across the 35, out of bounds at the 36, and a really good pickup as they're starting to move. That's a way to give yourself some breathing room. Now the second play of the drive from the 36. Now the play fake. Makes the grab, it's Love. Makes the grab, but not quite enough for the 1st down, but a good gain on that play.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on you.
The Irish come to the line facing 2nd and short. Wants to throw. It's Carr. Quickly to the tight end. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the 1st down.
It's important on offense to get the tight ends involved in the passing game. These are big fellas that can run. This guy's a big target, so nice job on that play.
Here's an opportunity for this offense in search of its first touchdown. It's 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Got it in the middle, it's Fields.
Nice catch there. You know, I think back to great Golden Dome wide receivers and Tim Brown who won a Heisman, Rocket Ismail, obviously. How about Jeff Samardzija? There's a name you don't hear very much anymore, but he was awesome for Brady Quinn back in the day. And all those guys had the ability to win one-on-one. Their quarterbacks knew that if they had that matchup outside, they were going to take it. And I think this quarterback feels the same way about that guy. He is just so...
Oh, he's got some space. Put it right on him. Sweet play, good pickup, and they'll move the chains with the 1st down.
The offense really struggled in the first half of this game, so it was important coming out of halftime. They were able to generate some momentum and get some rhythm offensively, and right now they look like they have it on this drive. Great news to see the quarterback make that last throw there to pick up the first down. They need him to play great in the second half.
Caught in the backfield, it's Flanagan. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
And that's why they got to keep running the football, man, because play action is going to be a big part of this game plan. You've got to get this tight end over the middle of the field vertically and give him an opportunity, because you just saw how dangerous he is after the catch.
Going to work on second down in the red zone, is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Back to pass. Under fire. He's got it on the move. He's run out of bounds, but they've got it now, first and goal.
Well, it looks to me like the offense made some adjustments at halftime. Only 3 points in the first half. But here we go in the first drive of this third quarter. This quarterback looks locked in. Really nice throw there to pick up the first down.
And guys, this has been a defensive struggle, but now on first and goal, a chance for the first touchdown of the game. Back to throw, it's Carr. Pocket breaking down. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Wants to go up top. He's got it and still on his feet. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch.
Nice job by the defense forcing the third and goal. You can't allow any run after catch in these situations. Play aggressive, play tight, and play physical.
They've relentlessly moved forward. Now it's getting down to cases. Third and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. And they'll miss the connection here on third down.
Yeah, and third and short, they choose not to run, throw the football, and I think a lot of that has to do with they know they're in field goal range. They can take the 3 points on the board.
Instead of opting for the chip shot field goal attempt and tying the game, these guys want to take the lead. He's looking to throw. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Irish! And with that, they've got the lead here in the second half.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone, because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now on game day.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point splits the uprights. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. The returner will field it and bring it back. And the coverage team able to make the tackle. This drive will open from the 15. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. What a job up front, and he'll lose a yard on that one.
And this offense on first down, man, they go backwards. And they built a deficit, and they've been sluggish, and they just need something to get going, to get started, because they've kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm this whole game.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. Tight end finds a soft spot. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
Nice catch by the big target. Those big tight ends, you could tell in football, are just becoming more and more of a weapon on every single team.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Gets enough for the first down, but not sure they'll get another playoff here in the third quarter. Guys, we've come to the end of the quarter, and Notre Dame has the lead. And we've reached the end of the third, and time is running out if they're going to cut into this deficit. Let's take a look at our game stats before we move on. 1 quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic fourth quarter finish. So first down, we'll open up the final period. He'll keep it himself. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
Back to throw, it's Bailey. Quickly complete. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
And you don't see that often when you're running a screen and you're featuring the running back and setting it up, but you go elsewhere. It's a nice job by the offense, nice job by the quarterback in particular, seeing the defense, saying, I can make a play somewhere else, and he goes and does it.
Big third down as the crowd gets behind this defense. From the gun, wants to pass. That's caught. It's Grimes. And he's brought down after a nice game.
I love the job the quarterback does surveying the defense there. Great job pre-snap recognition, understanding the coverage. He goes to his curl route, gets the completion, and picks up the first.
Wolfpack with a 1st and 10 here. The give to the tailback. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Looking to fire. Throws to the wideout. He got his hands on it, but couldn't hold on to it, and what a time that would have been for their first pick of the game. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The volley cheers going on high, and here comes the Thunder being shaken down on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws toward the end zone. And good coverage there to knock it away and deny the score.
One of the biggest reasons today why this offense is losing in the game is they haven't been able to get it going throwing the football. This guy still has not thrown a touchdown pass. They thought coming into this game they were going to have tons of success throwing it. But you got to give the defense credit. They watched the film. They've been mixing up their looks defensively, trying to confuse this quarterback, and again, on that last deep shot, it falls incomplete.
Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. They haven't really been able to light up this scoreboard, but putting points up would be huge here. And some room to work. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground, trying to milk the clock. Got to be smart, patient, great vision, uses all of that to get to the 29. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Notre Dame comes to the line, trying to convert on 3rd and short. Rides the back and leaves it. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30. Use the play fake, now to throw. Working that left side. Found a bunch of room and got it to the 44-yard line.
I think most offenses around the country in a situation like this with the lead late would be trying to run the football, right, or throw it short and try to bleed the clock. But this offense, man, it's still pedal to the metal. They're looking for chunk play opportunities.
This Notre Dame offense carving it up. They're working with another 1st down. 2-minute timeout arrives, and this defense desperately needs to get the football back. On first down, here comes this offense. Happy with the situation, the quarterback will take a knee.
I know you took a loss on first down there trying to run the football, but you've got the lead, and you've got to continue to run the football. And this is a big challenge now for your offensive line. Those guys up front, you've got to find a way against a defense that knows you're going to do it.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. The hand to the running back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
I think if you're offense here, the game boils down to this one play on 3rd down with the lead late. If you get the first down, that's ball game. There's not enough time left for the defense to get it back and go march down the field. So let's dial up our best play offensively. Let's make sure our best players are touching the football here.
And the offense is content with where it is. They'll take a knee.
A win is a win is a win. Victory formation, this offense ends the game. They didn't do much throughout the game. If I'm them, I'm probably taking that game ball and going and giving it to my defense. But they got the victory, get to take the knee, watch the clock run out.
Notre Dame lining up to punt it away. You couldn't dial it up much better than that as he knocks it out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Looking downfield, it's Bailey. Here's a throw downfield late. What a catch and what a throw along the sideline. Just zings it in there. A little Barishnikov for the toe tap. A huge pickup on the play before he goes out of bounds, but the question is, will it stand? There is a penalty marker on the field. Looking to throw on first down. Quickly out to the tight end. And they'll shove him out of bounds after the short gain.